everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Surrounded by Bourbon with me, Phil Crawford, aka Causeway Whiskey. This is episode 17. We're back in bourbon territory and we're looking at Jim Beam Devil's Cut. And I know what you're thinking, why do you have an empty bottle and a decanter on the table? And I shall explain. So let me introduce to you the Decanter of Doom. This is where pure bourbons go to die. So any of the bottles that I haven't really liked, they get mixed in here in an attempt to blend out the issues. But I use this decanter basically for mixed drinks. So if I'm going to make a old fashioned or a mule or Sazerac, whatever, I'll kind of use this as the base. I know I probably should use better whiskey, but this is, you know, why waste even the bad stuff? Why waste it, guys? Right? And I've kind of ruined this review already because it shows that I don't really like the Devil's Cut. I'll just say it was awful. I didn't enjoy this at all. So the contents of that bottle were promptly put in here with a mix of some of the Evan Williams and the Jack Daniels and stuff that I didn't really rate from before. So there we have it. And the reason why this is empty is because when I recorded this last week to review it, the audio didn't record. So I had a lovely 10-minute video with no audio. In a fit of pique, I deleted that video as well. I shouldn't have. I should have used some of that as B-roll so you could have seen my facial expressions as I drank this rather frankly terrible stuff. But anyway, look guys, I know you're intelligent out there, so please use your imagination and just believe that, you know, this is Jim Beam Devil's Cut and, you know, help me get through this review. I'll give you my notes. I'll try and recreate the facial expressions as best I can. Just bear with me. Hopefully enjoy this one. Bit of a pointless review, but anyway, here we go. So, Devil's Cut, what's all that about? Well, most people know the term Angel's Share if you're a bit of an enthusiast. If you're not and you're new to that term, the Angel's Share basically refers to the amount of capacity that is lost from a barrel as the whiskey matures. So while whiskey is in a warehouse, it's exposed to variations in temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, things like that as the seasons change. And these changes mean that the liquid in the barrels are at times drawn into the wood, and then at times they withdraw back out of the wood again. That's what, you know, lends the colour to the whiskey. It also picks up flavour compounds such as vanillins and lignans and tannins from the wood, and yeah, a myriad of other compounds that come out of the wood as well. So, you know, just think of a barrel as like ourselves. We breathe in, we breathe out, and, you know, that's essentially what's constantly going on within a barrel. Now the climate will affect that process. So for example, in Ireland and Scotland, where they have pretty temperate climates, the reduction of volume in the cask is only about 2 to 3% per year. And also because the alcohol in those climates will actually evaporate more so than the water per se, the strength will go down. So like, for example, most whiskies in Ireland and Scotland are put into the barrel at 63.5%. But you know, after 10-15 years, whenever they do a cask strength expression, it could be like between 55 and 58% ABV. It's a little bit different in warmer climates. So for example, in Kentucky, where obviously Jim Beam are based, they can lose as much as 8% of the volume. But also because there's more water being evaporated, the ABV can actually go up. So that's why sometimes whenever you see like barrel strength bourbons, even though they're put into a cask at 63% ABV or 62% ABV, they can end up being drawn out of the cask at 70% ABV. And then in even warmer climates such as Texas or maybe places like Taiwan or India, you can end up with even higher amounts being lost. So for example, I was in Still Austin recently, and they reckon in the first year alone they lose about 18% of the capacity, and obviously the alcohol volume is really going up at that point. So yeah, so there you go, that's the Angel's Share. What's the Devil's Cut? Well, that was something that was sort of conjured up by Jim Beam's master distiller, Fred No. There is liquid that is actually left in the barrel, in the staves, when you decant the barrel. And he referred to that as the Devil's Cut. And this expression was added to the Jim Beam range in 2011. And the reason behind it is because they had this great innovation where they could manage to extract that previously untapped whiskey that is in the staves. So how do they do that? Well, through a lovely technique called sweating. So they don't put their barrels in a sauna. What they do is after they have emptied the barrels, then they put about 2 gallons of water inside the barrel and then give that a vigorous shake for around 30 minutes. This process allows some of that trapped whiskey in the staves to leach out into the water, and so you have whiskey water, or as my friend Alan Shearer back home likes to call it, swish. And that whiskey water is then added to the original contents of the barrel to bring down the proof rather than regular spring water. So it's diluted to 45% ABV or 90 proof, and this is what we get. Just let me wet my whistle while I keep on talking here. Sorry for boring you guys. So, Jim Beam's Devil's Cut, 45% ABV, 90 proof. This cost $20. It uses the Jim Beam mash bill of 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malt, and apparently it is aged for around 6 years. Let's get into the nose, the palate, all that good stuff, so I can finish this review and put you out of your misery. So nose, stewed apples. There's cloves, there's cinnamon sticks in there too. There's toffee, there's peanut butter. Don't know if you can hear the dog downstairs barking in disapproval. I get it, Axel, I get it. There's corn syrup as well. Slightly minted. There's some vanilla too. But there's just loads of oak. Like loads of oak. Like loads of oak. Like I just cannot kind of express that enough. It is very oaky. Anyway, palate, let's go. So I think you could probably get a very similar experience if you just went to a lumber yard and just ate some sawdust. That's pretty much it. Oak, lots of it. The mouthfeel though, even for the proof, is pretty, it's very watery considering the ABV. Here we go again. Astringent oak. just astringent oak, chili peppers, ethanol. It's bitter, it's sour. You don't get any of the fruit that the nose promised. It's just not nice, guys. Not to this palate anyway, just, you know, that's my opinion, mine alone. I get it. Some people may love this. If you do, fair play to you. I don't. Finish. Let me have another sip. Thankfully very short, but this is painfully oaky. It's just so dry, it's astringent, it's gluey, it's dusty. I don't like this at all. At all. Score. Lowest score so far, guys. This is a 2 out of 10. You know, some people say that there's no such thing as a bad whiskey, and I fundamentally disagree because I've tried enough. Thankfully, like not loads, like modern whiskey making is pretty good, guys. But every now and again, something goes wrong and it shouldn't be released. And I don't know why people do, but they do. And this is one of them. this is something that I will never buy again. I had the misfortune of buying this like in 2017 or 2018. I seen it on the shelf and I was kind of like, do you know, it's probably about time that I go and revisit, give it a second chance. I regret that I did. That little proprietary barrel leaching system that Jim Beam have, kind of should have stayed in hell. Do you know, this is just not a good whiskey, guys. Anyway, it's a whiskey bore. I don't recommend it. I won't have it again in my cabinet. And thankfully, I think even the Decanter of Doom is glad that it shall not be tarnished with such a whiskey of ill repute ever again. So there you go, guys. That is my review. Please like, subscribe, comment. You can throw me abuse if you want. I'm pretty sure that, you know, anybody that does watch this, there'll be somebody that likes this and is probably fair game for getting abuse, to be honest, for that. So, you know, go ahead, guys, fill your boots. Until next time, I will see you again. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening. Next time is going to be something Irish. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Sláinte.